right here in the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. There's the scenes of the two teams getting ready to get on with the game. And indeed it shall be Uganda versus Nepal in this afternoon fixture, the 5th day of the Women's Day Cup. And indeed, it is the 10th game, second of the day. Earlier on, we had Dennis Musali out in the middle, taking on the toss. And this is what happened.
Game on match day number 5 of the Women's Day Cup here at the Lakeside Oval in Entebbe is a clash between Nepal and the host Uganda. At the toss, I have the two captains, Indu Bama from Nepal and Janet Mbabazi from Team Uganda. And our third umpire for the day, Mr. Patrick Makumbi Msoke. Indu is the home captain. She's going to be doing the tossing. Heads is a call. Heads it is. Janice, tell us what you're going to do and why.
We're going to bat.
Why have you decided to bat first?
The wicket looks flat and dry. Doesn't look like it's going to come down any minute. Plus, want to build on yesterday's momentum. I feel like the players, our batters need to still come on and express themselves and still put up a score that they can defend this time.
Got a good total yesterday on the board, but the bowling was missing for you. Yet it usually wins you games. What is the plan for today?
I think that we've had, time to go back and sit and reflect on what went wrong yesterday. And I think that the bowlers still have been trying to do just a few lines that we went away from, our lines as usual. But this time around, we want to, come back and stick to our basics and then have the backup of our fielders during the second innings. Yeah.
All right. Have you made any changes to the team?
Yes. So Fiona Kulume will be going out and Kevin Awino comes back to keep the wicket.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you.
Indo, you've been asked to bowl first. Your decision? Your thoughts about that?
Yes. It's okay either bat or ball, but we trust our bowling attack, so we will give the opposite team a bit under pressure.
All right. You still have an opportunity of making the final on Sunday. What is going to be in your plan in a must-win game for you?
I think we will play our best cricket. Basically, we do our best cricket, then we definitely win the game. So we go for win.
Okay. Have you made any changes to the team?
Yes, one change is Elisa in, Roma out.
All right. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you so much.
That's the news from the middle. Uganda have won the toss and they've decided to bat first.
And that was the story in the middle. And indeed, Uganda going on to bat with a change in the setup there. Kevin Awino coming in for Fiona Kulume. Interesting change up there, but I think it's also to try and further deepen the batting. But Janet Mbabazi once again captaining will open the bat with Immaculate Naksui. Ilko Esther continues in that place as Rita Musamali, Stefan Nampina, Proskovia Lako probably will be also part of that top order batting. Malisa Ariokot maintains a place, as well as Konsi Aweko, Sarah Akiteng, and Irene Mutoni, the youngster, continuing in the team for today for Uganda. And Team Nepal will definitely have Kadka there, the opening batter, Kumari with Sana Praveen, Puja Mahato, Indu Bama, the captain, Rubina Chetty, and Kabita Joshi, Mahatma Shodri, Alicia Kumari Adav, Ishwari Beast there, the opening bowler, Ruchana Kumari Chaudhry, and Ria Sharma, the interesting spinner as well for Team Nepal's that will be taking the field. Indeed, an interesting story coming and unfolding, but that is how the table stands at the moment, with Namibia's, after that win with a superior net run rate at 0.56. After 5 matches, Namibia is at 6 points, and after 5 matches, Hong Kong, China, 2 on 6 points. Uganda are on 4 points after 4 games. So it remains to be seen after this match between Uganda and Nepal how the table standing will be. But Uganda's net run rate quite a fair one there, 0.17 as it stands on match day 5. That is the exciting and interesting pitch right here at the Entebbe Cricket Oval. Right there in the background, the golf course, with some people already teeing off. The teams shall have their final hurdle, even as the umpires in Sharon Athaula, as well as Anna Harris, taking the middle. Indeed, it is a Women's Day Cup, and the women will be in the middle doing all of the business. And out here with me in the comms box, I'll be welcoming back Dennis Musali from that toss. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you, Mike. Should be an interesting game. Must win for both sides if either of them is going to push for a place in the final on Sunday. And the hosts, definitely, as you see them in your frame there, the Victoria Powers, are the ones who will be more interested in this result because they need to find a way of squeezing themselves in that afternoon affair on Sunday. A loss today will virtually knock them out of the final. A change at the top of the order for the Victoria Powers. The Proskovia Alako promoted up the order, and she'll open the batting with the captain, Janet Mbabazi. Interesting changes from Uganda. They've kept chopping and changing throughout the whole tournament and each and every game. I'm very, very surprised of the change they made today. Fiona Kulume, unused yesterday with either ball or bat, and gotten out of the team, replaced by Kevin Awino. Not even a like-for-like replacement. So very, very interesting, the change they are made by the Ugandans.
Speaking of that change, Dennis, you just feel maybe it was more of a matter of trying to get Kevin to have a go. But more importantly, yes, as a wicketkeeper specialist, Uganda gave away so many extras in the game against Namibia yesterday. So
I'll tell you, Uganda has not been bowled out, so I'm surprised that they would be thinking of using all the 11 batters. I certainly feel sorry for Fiona Kulume, but unfortunately for her, I'm not the coach as well. I can only talk about things, but I can't make any decisions that help her.
Pooja Mahato there will be opening the bowling for Nepal with Janet Mbabazi on strike. Janet, indeed, the change they're opening with Proskovia.
Pooja Mahato last time was in the business immediately, getting Janet Mbabazi trapped LBW. One of the few interesting bowlers who've gotten the ball to shape up a bit into the batters. Proskovia Alako, not very well known for running very well between the wickets. So she's not the kind who relies a lot on running between the wickets. She backs her power, and her game is only power.
Speaking of a power game in a T20 match, very much indeed desirable. However, as the saying goes, there has to be power with control, or else it is disaster and calamity.
Birthday celebrations during the lunch break for Chan Kaying. All the teams here are getting around for the cake. Again, a wild slog across the line. Janet Mbabazi, every time she has 2 dot balls, she's always thinking to go to... there's a sort of a rush of blood to the head, and she tries to go, plays that ugly walk across the line.
At this level, Dennis, it's always going to be very difficult if you can't rotate the strike, because you cannot just have a swap or a swing at the ball. The bowlers are also thinking on their feet.
I'll tell you, for me, what usually she fails to do is sort of have a process. Mike, you are a batsman. Just this one going down the leg side. You always need to have a process on how you're going to score your runs. Shouldn't even panic if there are 3 dot balls, because all those 3 could have been good balls. So you always need to stay calm, but understand the situation on when you can be able to capitalize.
Well said there, Dennis. And a case in point there. Janet is once again snared into a leg before wicket. Pooja Mahato slowing that down and straight into the middle stump there.
And look at it on the replay. A very easy decision there for Sharon Atwola. And she stayed there just to make sure she takes her time to check all three if are red. And Puja celebrates. They get the breakthrough. Nepal, Uganda 1-1. Esther Iluku, the new batter, Janet Mbabazi departs without troubling the scorers.
You know, Dennis, you kind of tickled me there, but opening the batting is always a specified, it's a specific kind of skill set.
When people see us doing it, they think it's easy.
Especially at the international level, because you have only that one ball.
Now, most times at the top of the order, because there's some bit of movement, you can only survive if you have a solid technique. But then again, you also need to understand that it's not advisable for you to play around your pad, especially if the ball is moving a bit. You need to try and play with a straight bat. For that sort of delivery that Janet played, she just didn't line it up well. Lost her shape and then went across the line. In Abu Dhabi with the girls, and we saw them struggling against a left-arm in-swinger. So some of those things are just failures with technique. You can see the shape of Esther Iluko nearly squared herself up because the ball is clearly coming back into her. A good first over from Puja, 1-1 Uganda. Uganda winning the toss, selecting to bat first. But they've already been pegged back, their captain back in the hat for nothing. That's a beautiful Baha'i temple here in the heart of Kampala. And the Gaddafi Mosque, one of the biggest mosques in the world, as well as a monument for the Uganda Matters, celebrated every year in this country. So visit Uganda today and build and bridge your world with ours, because you will find the Pearl of Africa an amazing destination. Ishori Beast will be bowling from the golf club end, and she'll be bowling to Proskovia Alako for the first time.
Oh, brilliant.
What a catch. Was up in the air for quite some time and gave an opportunity to the fielder to be able to stick a hand and take and hold on to a clinger. Proskovia Alako trying to go aerial, only managed to get too much height on it. And the rest will make the highlights package for today. Nepal pick up the second wicket.
Katka demonstrating why she's that kind of fielder. High up in the air, hard all the time, and she picks it up, the momentum taking her back, but nevertheless she completes a successful one arm.
The success of that catch is because Katka kept her eyes on the ball all the way. Even if she wasn't sure of her ground, she just made sure she keeps her eyes on the ball. The first ball that Proskovia Alako faced, and she immediately tried to go aerial. I do not know what her thought process was when she was playing that shot, but clearly she will need revising that thought process.
Interestingly, Team Namibia and Team Nepal, during their warm-up drills, they have that little game they play of catching with one hand. Dennis, I noticed, and it seems it has already paid off in the actual innings.
Ali, she comes in very early, Rita Msamali, and she finds the team in trouble. 1 for 2. 2 for 1, 1 for 2. Whichever way you want to define it, Uganda is 2 wickets down.
I know the Australians prefer 2 for 1.
But a good observation there, Mike. Finally, some runs off the bat. Rita Msamali tickles the ball down to fine leg. They'll get a single. Good observation from you, that one-handed sort of warm-up training. The things you do in practice are the things you do in the game as well.
Perfectly put, Dennis. Life is always a rehearsal of your private practice and your routines. Your rhythms determine your consistency. You will only hope and expect that the Victoria Pearls will bounce back from yesterday's disappointment, loss by 1 wicket, especially in the 19.5 overs. You kind of feel a cloud cover still hovering over the crested Victoria Pearls. You wonder if it's still affecting them.
Yeah, they had a good total yesterday. Very well played by Rita. So Rita has gotten the same sort of ball that Alako got out too. Alako just putting her head up immediately and trying to go big. Some of that cricket is a bit very, very unwise and not good to see from young players. Always first have a look. Very well played by Rita and takes off immediately. Most times they always advise, if you have not practiced hitting the first ball for 6, do not try it in a game. I read a book where Chris Gale in his book says he used to hit 1,000 balls every day to make sure that he's hitting the first ball for 6. So 1,000 balls, the same way he would want to hit the first ball for 6. Beautiful lush green of Uganda forest where wildlife roams free and traditions come alive with every dance. Experience the thrill of a safari and joy of discovery in every corner of our landscapes. Explore the wild side of Uganda where nature and culture dance together. That's a beautiful Ugandan countryside. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Puja will continue from the airport end. All played there by Rita Msamali. Good skills from her. She's taking her time. I was telling you, Michael, that Chris Gale said he used to hit 1,000 balls every day, like as if it would be the first ball he would ever face in a T20 game. But the culture he was trying to cultivate was him hitting that ball for 6, 1,000 times every day. Upish, but will be safe. Just reaching for the ball, Rita.
Well, speaking of the great Christopher Henry Gale, it explains why he went on to become the universal boss. Cricket is that kind of sport that gives you an opportunity for longevity to play it at the highest level for long, only if you're doing the right things most of the time, preferably close to all of the time. And Rita Musamali with the uncomfortable task, but she really should take on the responsibility of rebuilding the... I beg your pardon. Rita Musamali will have to take on the responsibility of rebuilding the Victoria Pearls innings, because as it stands right now, it's indeed still between a rock and a hard place. But after all, Pearls are formed out of those hard circumstances. Brilliant on drive there. Good control into the shot. Didn't try to overhit it, but certainly got the full blade of the bat behind that particular shot. And she's quite quick between the wickets, making it look like a very comfortable single. Such a brilliant talent to watch in Rita Musamali. Hopefully they're having good communication with Esther Iluko. Well, by good communication, we're talking about the effective understanding of themselves as a partnership out there.
Yeah, surprised today, Rita Msamali being, not Rita Msamali, Immaculate Nakisoi asked to come later on. Your thoughts about that, Mike?
Yeah, I would imagine, because previous games she hasn't really been successful, except I think in a way probably yesterday, but she hasn't been so successful as an opener.
the chopping and changing. People need to take their responsibility. Back in the day, we'd say that if you're not scoring runs at number one, coach, maybe let me come later, then I'll find runs. Things don't work like that. 3 overs gone. Uganda, deja vu, 5 for 2. It's Rubaga Cathedral here in Kampala. Beautiful place as well. Embark on a journey through Uganda's scarred sites and untamed jungles. Feel the spirit of adventure as you trek through these dense forests, uncovering the secrets of the land and celebrating life with every step. Uganda, where every trail tells a story. Such a magnificent country. Out of the middle of the bat for Rita Msamali. She lines up the ball so well.
It's good to watch, Davis, especially knowing that Ishwari Bit will try to get that opportunity of bowled and LBW, so she'll pitch it up just likewise as Pujamahato's done the other end.
Again, good running between the wickets here from Rita. Rita always likes to put the fielders on pressure. She hardly gets run out as well, but she always trusts herself to get the other end. The problem will be on you, because for her, she's sure she will get her end.
That's why you would miss her probably being in a partnership with Imi if Imi was the opening batter. Esther Iluko there, really yet to get her step going, because it's only 1 of 6 balls. Not so different from Rita, who has faced more balls. That is 10 in number, but the difference with Rita is seeing that ball right in the middle of the bat is always good signs. And that's another one down the leg, but wicketkeeper doing quite a good job of cleaning that up. That is the one that swings and continues down the leg, adjudged as a wide. Umpire Ann Harris.
Good one, good shot there by Esther in the gap. They'll pick up a double, comfortable double. One of the things Esther needs to work on is her offside game. She's very, very weak on that offside. She's strong on the onside, but very weak on the offside. If you're going to batter in the top order, you need to always find a way of milking those balls outside off stump. Because first of all, on principle, they will never hit your wickets. And those are run scoring opportunities for you.
Speaking of that offside, Ishwari Bit seems to be favoring the offside, but that time ball going rather wide. But I agree with your concept there, Dennis. Probably one of the explanations technically, Esther Iluko quickly closes herself out, making it much harder to offer on the offside. A quick single there, a bit of a mix-up in the calling, but Rita Musamali's pace makes up for that particular possible troubling moment there. And finally, a quick single is completed between the pair. It's also nice to see Uganda taking those quick singles that were being taken against them yesterday.
Yeah, certainly, Michael, for once, putting pressure on the fielders. Can see Rita always tries to attack everything that is outside of stump for her, which is a very, very good sign. The thing is that Uganda never puts fielders on pressure, and that's how they get those dot balls, and then in the end, they end up making sure they cram. From the rolling grasslands to the bustling wildlife, Uganda invites you to dress in tradition and capture moments of nature's brilliance, and witness the majestic elephants and vibrant bird life on a safari that promises memories for a lifetime. The untamed beauty of Uganda We welcome you to the Pearl of Africa. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. Uganda, I'm sure, must be competing with Nepal in beauty. Again, another swing, but comes off the thick outside edge. So that's a sort of thing. That's a ball that is outside your off stump. If you line it up well, you can get just more than the one run. That's where Esther needs to work. That offside game of hers is a bit just weak, and if it's not very very tight, especially if you're an opening batter, you struggle a little bit because bowlers are trying to target that fourth stump line.
Asking for a possible, maybe it's wishful, because a fowler Sharon adjudges that Esther Eluko, I beg your pardon, Rita was actually far from that ball as it was wide to her leg side. But then it's just thinking about it, one of the options, especially in this particular circumstance where the offside, there is literally no fielder between covers and third man position. So just even tapping that ball is a sure single.
Exactly, but you can see Pooja trying to bowl to her field set. There's too much protection for her on the leg side. I think because she bowls the ball into the batters, there's someone at short mid wicket, someone at short low mid on. There's a square leg and there's a fine leg as well. So there's too much protection for her on the onside. What a shot there by Rita Msamali. Beats everyone who's in that protection area. Sort of beats the security. 4 runs to the total.
Intentionally hit over the inner field there, Rita. Such a skilled execute of that particular shot off her feet, off her pads. And then it's just thinking about that, because that's exactly how you treat a bowler that is intentionally bowling to a leg-sided field, so that they are forced to come a little towards the offside and you open up for the singles.
Yeah, that's true, and she's very, very intelligent just to make sure she hits it with some power to beat the infield. Once it went through the gap, they were happy to get to the boundary. Good push there from Rita Msamali. Ball watching from Esther Eluku.
That is indeed the compensation Dennis was talking about, because now Pooja will be forced to bowl it from outside of stump and completing on the offside, opening up that option to pick up those singles and try to rotate the strike and put pressure a bit on the fielding side as opposed to the continual dot balls. Esther Luko, even though it's 5 of 10, but she is definitely ably making up for that partnership with Rita. They have a little mid-wicket communication there just to make sure they are at par and on the same wavelength. Little changes there in the field with covers going a little squarer. Then it looks like indeed Burma and trying to roll that. And it was quite a close call, but probably it's because of the way Esther offered, because that ball seemed to take a shade back.
Very fortuitous there for Uganda because the ball shaped back late.
But you seem to see as though Pooja is always asking the questions to Esther. especially outside off stump. And indeed, her technique is under test in that particular context to make sure that she can rotate the strike.
Yeah, beautiful shot. This time Esther gets to the pitch of the ball, and that should go all the way to the boundary.
Passing the test with flying colors there, playing through extra cover, a little shimmy and getting it past the infield.
This time reaching for the ball and meets it on the half volley and powers it through the gap for a boundary. I think one of the things I like about Esther that she's very, very brave. She just needs to be helped by the coaches to improve her technique. Then she'll be a superstar at the top of the order. Five overs gone. Uganda 24 for 1. 24 for 2. Under the starlight skies, beside the warmth of a bonfire, find yourself in the vast expanses of Uganda. Reflect, explore, and connect with the wilderness like never before. Experience the serene solitude of Uganda's wilderness. Visit and reflect on the beauty of Uganda. It's a bowling change for Uganda, for Nepal. The captain Indubama comes into the attack from the golf club end.
Captain Indubama recognizing that this little partnership is gaining some momentum and she wants to come on, but Rita Musamali equal to the task there with a brilliant, well-weighted straight drive.
Yeah, I told you about Rita. For her, she's sure she'll get her end. But Esther again, ball watching, needs to be very, very careful. Listen to your partner.